Normal. Okay. So, welcome back to the second episode of these. I don't know what we're going to call them because we don't have a name for them. It could be Kenaz interviews. We talked about torching the truth. We talked about truth torch. We talked about. If you have a name, you can give us a name for this if you got something in your head.
I can't think of one.
But today we are going to be talking with Jose Luna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jose Luna. Jose has been a member with CrossFit Kenaz for about, 6 months?
Yeah, a little bit. 6 to 7 months, maybe a little over.
Yeah, 6 to 7 months. He joined us with a big plan of doing something, and we'll get into that later. I don't want to bring it up right now. Most of you guys already know, but that's just something we're going to talk about in a little bit later. He really does have, or he gained a lot of discipline while being here, from coming in late to not coming in late. He is probably one of our younger members as far as the adults go. He's 19?
Yeah, 18.
You're 18 years old, just got out of high school, starting his life basically. So let's get into talking a little bit about you. Let's talk about your family for a little bit, right? Okay. So my first question is, are you an only child?
No, but I'm the only boy. So I'm the only male in the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I live with my sisters. I have 2 younger sisters and I have 1 older sister. Me and my older sister, she's only 1 year older than me, so we have a really good relationship. We sometimes have a good connection, yeah. So we've grown up together. We've gone to the same schools, and I've always seen her around during break. And I know we love each other, but sometimes we don't show it. We'll kind of clash a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because even though she's older than me, since I'm kind of the guy, my parents I would say they gave me maybe a little more freedom.
Uh-huh.
They give her a lot of freedom too, but I might get a slightly more freedom. And then when we were younger, she would look for me, if there was issues or problems, she would come to me about them.
Okay.
So even though she's older, sometimes I take a little more responsibility.
Okay, and she's in college right now.
Yeah.
And your little sisters, how much younger are they?
So one of my little sister is, I believe she's a sophomore in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then my other little sister is an 8th grader, and she's going to be a freshman in high school next year.
Okay, so you're talking a little bit about more freedoms for you, a little bit less freedoms for her, mm-hmm. Even though she's older. Let's talk about your upbringing. So How did your parents raise you?
So I was, my dad, he took me everywhere with him. If he was mowing the lawn, I was mowing the lawn. I had a little toy mowing.
Yeah.
It didn't cut anything, but he had me out there with him. And he had me in a little tank top shirt. And I would go everywhere with him. I remember we would go to Walmart. So my parents are from Mexico.
Yeah.
So when they came, we didn't really have a lot of money. Uh-huh. So I'd ask my dad, hey Dad, could we get a toy? And he'd be not today, but here, go grab Doritos and a soda.
Yeah.
And we'd go home eating our bag of Doritos and a soda. We'd always share our bag of Doritos and a soda.
That's good.
So and they taught me to be very respectful, especially to older people.
Mm-hmm.
To people my age as well, but it's especially to older people, because that's just traditions and stuff. You're always supposed to be respectful to older people. So thankfully they kept me very disciplined. And
okay.
They taught me to stand up for myself, but to always respect others as well.
And the respecting was very, very observant. We started right away. So with your interview with Matt, when you first showed up, he talked to you a little bit, trying to get your goals and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The first thing, because normally what we do is when we have new people, he'll text the coaches group and he'll be like, hey, there's a new person showing up. His name is this, and this. Yeah. The first thing he told us about you was this kid is respectful. And I was like, no way. There's no way an 18-year-old is going to be disrespectful, right? Mm-hmm. So then the first day you showed up, you're the only person in the gym that refers to the coaches as coach.
Oh, okay.
So everyone else in the gym is hey, Luis, go do this. Or, hey, Luis, can you help me with that? But you're over here, hey, Coach Luis, Coach Matt, Coach Cody. And that is, the biggest thing that I've noticed about you. I was like, dang, he put the title in front of us, which is really cool.
I've seen it, too. I was everyone would be like, hey, Luis. I was like,
oh. Weird you out, huh?
Yeah. And then it was Matt, go do that. I was like,
what the heck?
Coach Matt. I was like, but I just stuck to it, because, that changes title. You work for your title. So it's okay, you work to become a trainer.
Yeah.
You were, level 2, level 3, whatever trainer you are, but that's your title.
Mm-hmm.
It's whenever doctors, they go and no one calls them doctors, oh, that's their title, So I was out of respect, since you are a trainer, Coach Luis.
That is pretty cool. But that's the one thing I noticed, and I was like, okay, this kid is pretty respectful, right? You said your parents are from Mexico. What part of Mexico?
Yeah. So My mom's from Hidalgo, and then my dad's from Mexico City.
Oh, sweet. My dad comes from Mexico. So, like, when you talk about your dad taking you, like, everywhere or teaching you outside or all of this stuff, right? There's a huge age gap between us. So, like, I'm 30, you're 18. There's 12 years between us, right? But it's still weird to hear an 18-year-old nowadays say, oh, yeah, my dad made me go outside and work or all of this stuff. Normally, you see 18-year-olds with, like, oh, I didn't spend a day outside at all because I was just inside the entire time. But, like, even me growing up, my dad would take me outside. He'd be like, no sleeping in. I'd wake up at the butt crack of dawn every morning. He'd be like, it's Saturday, go cut the yard, go clean the gutters, go clean outside. By noon, when it started to get hot, he'd be like, okay, you guys are done. Go inside if you want. Go outside and play. Yeah. But, man, we were just outside with the whole neighborhood just hanging out, and that's how we were raised. And so it's cool to hear, like, your dad did the same thing with you. And it was probably because you were the only boy. Does he take your sisters out there?
No, not as much. It's just you. Yeah, so I've had to like clean the dog shit. Like,
that's how it was.
Those were all our dogs, but I was the one that had to clean all of it. But it teaches you a lot, though. I've worked with my dad since I was 13, and for everything it's been me and him working. Like, he never takes my sisters, and that's okay. Like, I'm not against that. Yeah. Because of that, like, my sisters, they kind of look at me with more respect and like kind of like not a higher authority, but like if they need something like money or issues or they'll talk to me about it. And they know, like, if I have money like laying around, I'll give them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if my sister, she's like, oh, they're selling cotton candy after school, kid, you know? I'll be like, oh yeah, of course, like, you know. But thankfully, because of that, they give me, like, look at me with more authority. But it sucks having to do everything, like work, you know.
All the chores, all the cleaning, all the stuff outside. Well, I know.
Thankfully, since I've started working with my dad in the car wash business, since we're out most of the time, now they've started like doing like more of like the house stuff.
Okay, cool.
But besides that, so thankfully because of like the business, I've kind of steered away from like doing like the house stuff. So that kind of helped. But
So when did your dad start doing car washes? Because that's what you do now, right? Yeah.
So we went to Oregon for a year. I want to say like 6 years ago. And
so you lived in Oregon?
Yeah, I lived in Oregon for a year. It's a nice place to live. It's kind of in a way kind of like for like older people, I want to say.
Like retirement, right? Yeah, that's what you can say, dude.
Because it's like, so it's very depressing there. It's always rainy.
Yeah, that's one thing I know, like, or I've heard about the like northern states. They're rainy, they're cloudy. You don't see that much sun, and a lot of people, do get sad and depressed there.
Yeah.
But then to hear like, oh, that's a retirement spot. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, maybe not. So keep going.
That's exactly what you said. Yeah. People get depressed there. You see it all the time. A lot of families go up there and they don't know it's gonna be so rainy and stuff. And then once it hits them, they get depressed. And the depression lasts for a while because it's all rain over there. Yeah. So it rains for like just straight like 6 months. It's just raining every day. Oh man! So whenever it's still shiny, there's still some days where it rains. But when it's shiny, it's fun. It's a nice place. It's a really nice place. It's very green. Not compared to here. It's all dry. I counted. Yeah, everything's dying and shit.
So you went to Oregon because your dad, because of the car wash, or just because?
So no, that was because. So my dad, he worked at a cold storage for like. He worked at the cold storage. It's like right around.
Yeah, the one off of Levin.
Yeah,
so I know what you're talking about.
He worked there for like I want to say he worked there for like 9 to 12 years. I forgot exactly the number. I forgot if it was 9 or 12. It might have even been 10. I don't remember. But he worked there for a while.
That's good.
But something happened with like the owners where they switched. Like something happened, and he got laid off. So since he got cut off, my uncle, he gave him a call and he was like, "Hey, like we have some spots over here at our job. Like come and work with us." It was like over there. I think he was like a forklift driver or something. And my dad was like, "You know what? It's something new. We've never been." So our family, since we come from Mexico and stuff, we kind of like just stayed here, planted
in California.
Yeah,
like here
in the valley, like
in Tulare.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We've never really traveled. We didn't go to like San Jose, like nothing like that. You know, all the like San Francisco, the places. We stayed planted here. So when he was like, "Let's go to Oregon," it was like, "Oh, you know what? That's something new." So even though we're making big movements, we were excited. And we're like, "You know what? Let's head over to Oregon." And Oregon was great. I really enjoyed it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then from Oregon, you guys worked with your uncle, and then your dad was like, "This is it. Like, I'm done with this. Let's move on to something else." Or how'd you guys get into?
So even though we really enjoyed it, it was also like, this isn't home. Yeah. Tulare's home. We've grown up here. We have friends over here. We school, the teachers. We already knew everybody. And like I said, Oregon's really depressing. So it's like the days that you go out and you have fun. Mm-hmm. But the days that you're just inside, it's like all you can do is I just watched anime. I got into anime when I was there, and I love anime. For all my anime people out there, that's great. But it's really depressing when you have nothing to do, and it's like so limited the stuff that you can do inside because you need to go out. Like that's like just something that you need to do, especially when you're younger. So we decided to move back because we just weren't liking it there. We had family that made us comfortable there. We had great people, but we just decided to move back for different reasons. Like what I told you, it was depressing. Yeah. And when we came back here, that's when we started our car wash business.
So right away, huh?
Yeah, right away.
That's pretty good.
He bought the stuff and he put them into a storage. So we had a storage room here with all of our stuff because it's really hard moving all your stuff from one place to another. So we rented like a storage place for like a year or something like that. He had all the stuff in there. So as soon as we came back, we bought the van and we put all the stuff to work. And we just got started. It's a hard process to start up though.
How long has he been doing that?
For like 5 years.
Dang, so he's been doing the car wash business for 5 years? Dude, that's that's sustainable. Like,
no, it is.
How many vans does he got? Does he have only one van?
So we had two, but since I'm leaving to the military, we had to get rid of one just because it's really hard moving too. Yeah. I think the hardest part is finding good people that are going to work and are reliable and trust.
Got you. Okay. So dang, that's pretty cool. I didn't know it was for 5 years because I thought it was just like, oh, he just started and you're just starting to work with him. No, that's really good. Okay, so you did mention your next step, which is the military, right? Yeah. But I want to ask why not go into college? Like, what made you say I don't want to go to college? But
so don't get me wrong, I'm good at school.
Yeah, like, no problem.
I got good grades. I had a 4.0 up until my senior year. Yeah. I had really good grades.
That's good.
And I was set to go to like really good schools. I could go to like 4-year schools and stuff, and that would have been fun too. But the college. So my dad was in the military when he was younger.
Okay.
Yeah. So that kind of put me like into like the military stuff.
The military in Mexico.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he would always talk to. I think that's why I'm kind of more disciplined on that side.
Because of that, yeah. I can see it now.
He was strict. He was really strict to me, but it set me up for good stuff. And he was in the military in Mexico, so that kind of like dragged on to me. And ever since I was younger, I knew I wanted to do something like law enforcement, but I didn't know like what in the government.
Like not a cop, but something similar or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I was thinking, I told my dad when I was younger, like when I was like 8, I was like, hey dad, I want to go to the military. But parents don't want to hear that.
No,
like,
they want to hear college.
They'll be proud of you if you do it. Don't get me wrong, 100% they'll be proud of you, but they don't want to hear that. Yeah. So he was like, he kind of steered me away from it. And I was like, you know what? All right, then a cop, why not? Yeah. But then this last year came around, and like all like you see like the world issues and stuff, and you're like, you know what? If I can go do something to help out, then I'm gonna go do it, And there's just so many benefits for me. If I do want to go to college after, which I probably won't, but if I do want to, then I can do it. It'll be
because they pay for it. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's so many benefits to it that I don't see why you wouldn't want to do it. Yeah. And I like it. That's just something I want to do. I want to help people. I want to go out. I'm gonna be a mechanic, so I'm gonna be like repairing the vehicles. But if I can help out the people that are out there and stuff, do the best I can.
I have a bunch of family members who've gone to the military, who are either retired from the military. I have a cousin right now. I know he's stationed. I don't know exactly where, but he's in the military, actively serving. He just got in like a few months ago too. Okay. So it's pretty cool to see that. But there's. Like in my family, there's a lot of history of people in the Air Force, Navy, Army. I don't think we have anyone in the Marines, but that stuff really hits home for me as well. Yeah. But to hear your dad was in the Mexico's military, and then raising you as disciplined as you are and talking now, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go join the military. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Like you don't really hear about that stuff. You hear people say like their kids will come in. Their kids will show up, or not here, but in specifically, they're like, oh, I want to join the military because my dad was in the Army. And that's pretty cool. That's usually how it goes. And then you get those that are like, I'm never going to go there. I saw what they did to my dad. I'm never going to do that. But that's pretty cool. So because you wanted to join the military or go to we're going to say the Army because that's where you're going, right? Yeah. Because you want to go to the Army, you're like, they're not going to let me in because basically I'm overweight. Yeah. I needed to lose some pounds and get into shape, right? So you came here as your first stop, or where was your thought process in that? Like, why did you choose CrossFit Kenaz when you could have just gone to like a cheaper mobile gym down the street and been like, I'm gonna go lift weights, right? So why here?
So, well, I would drive, since we work all over Tulare. One of the main roads that we use is right here.
Barsley,
yeah. And we would drive by and we'd see you guys running back down and forth, and we're like, what are they doing? You know? Yeah, we've seen people of all ages, of all sizes, of everything, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want to join that, like, because we had a membership at Planet Fitness. We still do, just for a little accessory work and stuff, or like if I want to go run on a treadmill or something, and I had it, but whenever you don't have that type of community around you,
people here,
exactly, like the community here is amazing. It's great. I love everybody here. Everyone here is so nice. The coaches, everything.
Yeah,
it really motivates you to come. Whenever you're paying the $10 gym and you're like, should I go? Should I not go? It's not the same motivation. It's not the same people, and it's like, I'll take today off. Versus here, if I don't come one day, the next day, coaches, so where were you at?
Yeah,
Vanessa will be like, so why were you here at this time? I was like, oh shit. I was like, and then I have to be like, honestly, I overslept or something. Damn. Versus Planet Fitness, no one's there to push you. No one's there to motivate you. Which, some people do have that drive to do it
on their own.
Yeah, but if you don't, for a lot of people that don't, it's rough. It's harder.
Yeah.
So I did have a membership, but I just wasn't putting it to good work. Yeah. And over here, the price might be higher, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It's time's worth it. Everything's worth it.
Yeah. Over here. I usually tell people, like, when they want to sign up, like, hey, this is what you're gonna get when you pay for it, right? Yeah. And one of the biggest things I tell them is like the community and the accountability. So I tell them, look, if you decide to show up, like, you're like, hey, I can only make it at 5 p.m. class, right? Yeah. At 5 p.m., you're going to be working out with the same people every day, because those are the same people that show up at 5. And I tell them, hey, if you miss one day, they will not let you, like, you won't hear the end of it. Yeah. They'll tell you, like, where were you at? They'll send you messages. The coaches at the time will ask you, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Yeah. Like, everyone holds you accountable, which is cool, because that's, like, as humans, we want that group aspect. Exactly. We want to be able to be held accountable. We want to talk to people, and even afterwards, like, people are hanging out, and you hang out a lot. Like, you come in at 6, after. Dude, you don't leave until like 7:30. You're just like talking, hanging out, and like you build friendships, relationships while here. So that's really cool to hear. Do you know the weight you were at when you came in? You can even give a rough estimate.
I was pushing. I know the exact weight was like 246, but I think I might have went a little higher over that to like
240, 250-ish?
Like 250.
Okay. Do you know where you're at now?
The last time I weighed myself when I was at MEPS, when I went to go get weighed, I was at 208.
So from, let's say 248, let's make it round number, right? To 208.
Yeah.
This kid lost 40 pounds, roughly 40 pounds at in about 6 months at the gym, right?
Yeah. So I lost it in around 6 to 7 months, but I didn't. My biggest regret since I started coming here was not coming consistently.
Yeah, I get it. It's rough.
Yeah, so I started coming. I was coming, but I was coming like, you know what? Some days I would come, some days I wouldn't come.
Yeah.
I was very inconsistent with it. Just because, like you said, the laziness to drive, right? Yeah. But once I started coming, I want to say like 4 months ago, like right after New Year's, that's when I started coming like consistently, like every day. And I dove more into the community, dove more into like coming to the parties with everybody. And that's what really got me going.
It got you into it, huh?
Yeah. And that's what. So since I started coming 4 months ago consistently, that's when the weight really started dropping. And I started watching what I ate more, because in the beginning I was still out with like my friends eating like shit. Yeah. I was still drinking a little. Yeah. And even though I was doing that, I was still seeing results.
Yeah.
Like I was seeing muscle growth. I was dropping a little bit of pounds, but not too many. But once I started coming consistently, that's when I really started dropping the weight quick.
So like in 4 months, right? So of the 7 months, you kind of came in and out. And then 4 months, you're like, I'm going to dedicate all my time into this, or most of my time into this. And then you started just shedding weight, getting stronger and all this. And that's really cool, because like we would see changes in people. Some people, like, they're not as consistent, and you can kind of tell like when they come in, they're just slow, or they're not into it, right?
Yeah.
But there's other people who are like, I'm here to work out, and I'm here to get in shape, and I'm here to do better and live my life, right? And that's one of the things we like to see. Like, we like to help people like live their life. Like, your goal coming in was like, I want to join the military, go to the Army, and live my life through that, and I need to lose weight in order to get there. And you came here like, I need to lose weight, and that's exactly what you did. And like, now you get to go live that dream. Like, you're leaving in what, next week? Next Friday?
Yeah, next
Monday.
Yeah, next Monday.
Not this Monday coming up, but the next Monday. Yeah, the following Monday. Which is really cool, because then we got, like, it's cool for us as the gym and as your coaches, because we got to play a little part of that. Like, we were here to help you and coach you and motivate you to get into that shape, so that way you can actually, like, do that. And to see it come to fruition, we're just like, what the heck? Like, this is really cool. Like, we get to see this kid go live his dream now. And, like, when he comes back after boot camp or after his years of service, he's going to come back here and be like, hey, look, like, I'm back. Let's come back and work out. Let's do what we got to do, which is cool. You mentioned the community, and that's a huge part of what we do here, like build that great community to have people accountable. And you've just dove right in, dude, and you loved everybody and everything, and this is really cool to see. So let's talk future now, right? So military, you're going to the Army.
Yeah.
Why did you choose the Army over everything else?
So I chose the Army over different branches because I talked to different people. I kind of stayed away from the Navy just because it's all water and...
You don't like the water or what?
Sometimes whenever I'm driving, like when we're coming back home from work and my dad's driving, I'll kind of feel like throwing up.
Oh, car sick?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, damn. It won't be too often, but when it hits, it's annoying, and I don't like that feeling, you know? So
I get you.
I stayed away from that, and I talked to different branches. I talked to different people, and it kind of stuck with me with what a Marine told me. He said, like, if I could go back and be a Marine, I'd do it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me right now to choose between Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, I would choose Army, just because he said they have a better like lifestyle, a better way of living, and that after they treat their people a lot better. That's what I heard.
So that's from somebody you were talking to. Okay.
That was a former Marine.
Yeah. So
that's why I chose to go Army.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Like, at least you did your research and you just weren't like diving right into it. And you're gonna be a mechanic there. Any other, like, did you look at any other jobs or anything? You're just like, nah, I'd rather do this. Or why did you choose mechanic?
I chose mechanic just because. So I had you take a test, and according to the test, that's like all the jobs you get. I think I had like 30 something jobs available. I had like a medic, some like psychological ops where like they mess with your head and stuff. Like different jobs, and they were all cool, but you don't really look at all the jobs. You look at like certain like 3 and you like study those. So I was there between like a medic. I didn't even think about becoming a mechanic, but so once I get out of the military, I want to become a truck driver, like
a diesel truck driver, like around the area.
Exactly,
okay, cool.
Or like long ways. Either one works.
Cross country, whatever.
So I want to do that, and I want to hopefully expand that business.
Okay.
If I'm a diesel mechanic, and if I can get into diesel mechanics, I won't have to pay so much for people to do what I already know.
Yeah.
You know, if my truck breaks down, I could fix it.
Yeah.
As long as I have the tools and the equipment. But if not, then I'm gonna be paying like thousands of dollars for someone to fix something that I know what to do.
So you chose it again. Something like an 18-year-old doesn't think about 20 years down the road, 10 years down the road. You're thinking, I'm gonna go to the Army. At 8 years old, you're like, I want to go to the Army. Your dad's like, nah, go be a cop. And you're like, nah. Again, at 18, you're like, I want to go to the Army. And then you're staying already. Like, when I get out of the Army, my plan is to buy a truck, rent a truck, do a truck, whatever it is, and drive it across country taking loads. So like a diesel driver, 18-wheeler, and then already thinking like, if my truck breaks down, I got it. Like, dude, this is a mindset of an 18-year-old right now, right? Like, not everyone thinks this way. Nobody thinks about their future. At 18, I didn't think about my future. I was like, I got to go to school still, so I went to school. And even during school, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got a job. I got some type of schooling. Let's see where this leads me. But you're over here like, bam, 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 planning everything out, which is great. Like, that's something you don't see, which is cool. Like, that's pretty cool. So diesel mechanic, driving your own trucks in the future, really working through all that. That's good, man. We already talked a little bit about how CrossFit got you there, right? Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things about Jose was when we got told that he was going to join the gym. His thing was like he wants to lose weight, and the biggest keyword was to join the military. So we normally try not to, let's say, I don't like to use the word punish, but let's try not to punish people for coming in late, right? Usually we just get them warmed up as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. But with Jose, my goal was like, he wants to join the military, and the military doesn't enjoy lateness. Like they do not like to be late. If you're late to the military, you're doing something. Mm-hmm. So we made him do burpees for every minute he was late. And then it expanded to like 20 burpees every time he got beat by someone in the workout. And this was fun. to us, not to him, because he was like, oh man. But one of the cool things that you said to us was during the open there was burpees, right? Yeah. Burpees over the bar and deadlifts, and he loves deadlifts. He came up to me after that workout and was like, hey coach, thank you for making me do all those burpees. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, I went fast on those burpees. Like, I went really far because you made me do burpees during the workout. And I mean, he hasn't showed up late in a long time. I haven't got to punish him in a while, but which is good. But to hear like our little punishment of him doing 40 burpees a day because he was late turned him into someone who does good burpees is pretty cool to hear. But like, what was your take on that? Like, you came in, you're like, oh shoot.
So I knew if I came in late, the class would look at me and I would look at you and I was like, man, I was like, it's over. I was like, I'll look at the time to check how many I would have to do. Yeah. If I would, sometimes I try to like pull my way into it. I try to walk to the back. Yeah,
I try to sneak in.
Walk to the back, but you look at and you look at the time, like, I saw it. I was like, damn. But it did help because I remember at the open in the guys like area division. Yeah, I did the best in the guys.
Yeah, you did that workout. You did. You beat everybody.
Yeah, that one helped a lot, and I was like, damn, all those burpees, they're paying off. Yep. It's cool to see like a punishment help you out. Yeah. Even though it's supposed to be a punishment, and it was a punishment because those burpees suck. But for the classes, they would get me warmed up. Yeah. Like
that was the goal. Exactly. Like, we didn't want you to show up late and not be warm for the workout. Like we wanted you to at least have some type of muscle movement going on.
Exactly, and it helped me get warm for the workouts. Mm-hmm. It helped me do better in the workouts. Yeah. And it kept me from being late. You know, I would come in consistently late in the beginning, and over time, I'll come in a couple of times late. Yeah. But definitely not as much as I used to. Definitely.
Which is like, it was just cool to see that process. But that was like my favorite thing to do whenever you showed up late. Let's talk a little bit about general questions, okay? Mm-hmm. What do you do when you're not in the gym or not working? What do you like to do?
So whenever I'm not in the gym, so I work my entire morning. Yeah. I've been working, like I said, since I was 13 with my dad. I'm talking like every day during the weekend, after school, everything. So before CrossFit, what I would do is I would go play soccer with my buddies. We'd go play soccer, we'd party, and on the weekends we'd drink. Okay. That was our thing. And we love soccer. So once I started joining CrossFit, that's whenever I started every afternoon. Well, not in the beginning, but now every afternoon I'm here. I love coming here. I love coming in, not so much early, but coming on time. And then I'll stay after and I'll talk to Christina, Jason, everybody, and we'll just be talking for like half an hour. So I'm getting home like at 8. Yeah. And then once I get home at 8, if we're going to play soccer indoor, I'll go play soccer indoor. And if not, then I'll just relax. I'll stay home and shower.
That's good.
But besides that, honestly, CrossFit's now, that takes up the entire afternoon. That takes up the afternoon, and working takes up the morning. Yeah. So besides that, I don't really do anything else now. Yeah.
You mentioned, so I'm also not a huge anime fan, but I mean, I watch it every now and then. Yeah. What is your favorite anime show? What are you watching either now, or what's your favorite overall time?
I think, so what got me into anime was Naruto. That's the main one that gets everyone in.
And that's usually the younger crowd too, because they're the ones they're like, for me, it was Dragon Ball.
Oh, see, Dragon Ball's
But that's what I grew up watching, right? And then Dragon Ball Z came out, so that's what got me into it. But you're Naruto, which is like the younger generation of people who like it,
So Dragon Ball's kind of like the grandpa, I guess, in a kind of a way. Not that, no offense.
Okay, here we go.
Like the grandpa anime. Yeah. But I really like, but my favorite one right now, and probably of all time, would have to be One Piece.
Okay, that's like 1,000 episodes. That's like that started when I was younger too. So
exactly. It's a commitment. It is like 300 episodes in, and I have to take a break like constantly. Just keep going through it. But I just like the adventure theme of it.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
It got me thinking. You asked me why, like, I chose to join the military also because, like I said, we haven't traveled outside of the Central Valley too often.
And that's gonna definitely make you travel. That's pretty cool.
I've never been to the other side of the country at all, nor like outside the country. Yeah. So as soon as I join the military, that's gonna take me everywhere. Like I told you, I'm headed to 3 different states once I start just for training, which is Virginia, Georgia, and South Carolina. Nice. Yeah, and that's like, those are all 3 places I've never been to. Yeah. So that's gonna be a whole different like people to meet, everything, and I'm excited for that. And then once I finish that, I don't know where they're sending me. So
wherever they station you.
Exactly, wherever they station you. Hopefully,
England, like wherever they send you, that's gonna be pretty cool. Exactly. It might still be in the States, but that's cool.
But as long as it's not California, I'm fine.
I don't want to be here no more.
Yeah, I'm 18 years, 17 if you count Oregon. But besides that, I'm just trying to get out of here. You know?
I get you.
And a big reason, like I said, is travel. And I just want to travel. I want to experience new things, new places, everything. And
that's pretty cool, dude. That's good to hear. Anything else you want to say? So we're gonna wrap this up in a little bit. But anything else you want to say to the gym, to yourself, or like to the people who are watching this later on?
I think everyone should try to get into CrossFit. I know CrossFit has it. A lot of people dislike CrossFit, or they might hate CrossFit, but they've never done CrossFit.
Exactly.
They've never experienced it. They don't know the community. They don't know the workouts. They don't know anything. You know, I think you should come into CrossFit with an open mind.
Yep.
I had my cousin come in one time, and he was like a
I was here for that.
And, he was dying through the workout. He was suffering. He was going through it. And after he was like, you know what, CrossFit isn't so bad. Yeah, and I told him, I was like, come in with an open mind. Don't look up videos, don't do anything. Just come in you. The coaches, they'll set you up, I promise you. They'll take care of you. So he came in, and after he was happy with it, he was like, you know, I'm still going to go to my gym, but...
it was enjoyable.
Yeah, but I liked it. CrossFit's not so bad.
Yeah.
And like I said, I completely love CrossFit now. I really enjoy it. I wish I would have gotten into it sooner, but, you know, you are where you're at.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about that. So... I wish more people would come in.
Yeah.
Because it really does help. I think my goal, by however long it takes, I want to get my whole family in here, you know, my sister, my mom, my dad, just because everyone can do it. Yeah. You know, we have people that are 70, we have people that are 15, you know, it's...
We have kids, children doing it,
Yeah, Riley, you know, and he's Riley's a beast, dude. So we have people of all ages, and I think that's what's so great about it. Anybody could do it.
Yeah.
So if I could go in, like, try to have like one thing to say is like more people should join. Hopefully just
give
it
a shot.
Come in.
Yeah.
If you don't think you'll enjoy it, just come in, give it a shot. Yeah. That's all you could do, you know? And if you really come in with an open mind, I promise you'll live it too, you know? You'll come in, you'll meet the coaches, everyone here will help you out. I was having a hard time. I was like, you know how some people, they'll have like that one coach that they're like, and I was like, damn,
you don't have to say it.
I was like, who's my one coach?
You don't have to go around saying stuff like that.
But I don't have a coach. Like, everybody here, Coach Matt, Coach Cody, Coach Angelita, you know, the new coaches.
Gabe and Katie,
everyone's so great. You can't choose, you know? Because everyone will talk to you. If let's say Coach Matt's teaching class, but you'll walk by and you'll see me doing a squat wrong, you'll be like, hey, fix your feet. You know? And you're like, oh, you know what? You'll do it. You're like, you're right. Mm-hmm. So you can't really choose because all the coaches here are great.
Yeah.
There's not one that stands out. There's not one that's better. You know, you might have a connection with them just because they might do morning classes or afternoon classes. Yeah. But every coach here is great. You'll love every coach here, and everything about this gym is just great.
That's good, man. That's good. I personally am like, man, this kid is great. He's joined the class. He brings a fun energy and all this stuff. So it's cool. It was great to get to meet you and actually like get to coach you and learn more about you and have you at parties, which was great. All of this stuff, right? And then like to see you just like, hopefully like see you down the road when you come back and see like your family and you drop by. That's gonna be fun to see. Get to hear more stories about your travels, everywhere you're going, all of this stuff, which is pretty cool. So like at least on my behalf, it was great getting to know you, getting to coach you, getting to know all this stuff. We're actually going to just take off right now, go do Murph because you're not going to be able to do that for this. So this is going to be a fun day today. This was great, man. This flowed a lot easier than I thought, which was cool.
Yeah, I was a little nervous coming into it. That's why I had the kill clip, and once I finished, I was like, oh, shit. But
which is totally fine. No, it works good, dude. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah. No, thank you guys for everything. You know, I love you here. So thank you guys. Yeah. We're gonna go do Murph right now. That's gonna be a fun, long workout. It's like an hour, so it's like it'll be good. But thank you.
All right, man.